Hi, I'm Krista. I'm one of the co-founders of Objects in Order, and this video is the first in our series of digital exhibition case studies. Today, I'll walk you through an exhibition that I built using our system. It's called the Dragonfly, and it's live right now on our demonstration site, the Museum of Objects. So we did include a link in the description below, so check it out. It's a thematic exhibition featuring works depicting dragonflies drawn from open access image collections from museums across the country. And in this video, I will share how it all came together. So the first thing that I did was select the objects. I found 21 fantastic works for the digital exhibition. And next, I created an exhibition blueprint. So that's what you see here. This is the Dragonfly blueprint. A blueprint is where you set up the custom form fields for object information for your exhibition. So that would mean form fields like artist, date, and medium. And here I actually got started with the exhibition template. And so that automatically came with fields for tombstone information and for label text. And then from there, I just rearranged, renamed, and added what I needed. So you can see here for our date field, I've added a data entry note. So you just sort of set up the exhibition fields that you need for your project. For a closer look at blueprints, we will link to our blueprints video in the description. So when my blueprint had all the informational fields that I wanted for the project, I downloaded the CSV template. And when you download a CSV template for a blueprint, the column headings are going to correspond to the field labels in your blueprint. So here I just entered the data for my Dragonfly objects. And then when I was finished, I uploaded the CSV and that created the objects and populated the data. So here is a look at one of the objects, and it has information for artist, date, medium. This actually came in through the CSV. But instead of, or in addition to a CSV, you can also add objects individually. In either case, though, you can always enter new information and make updates along the way. So next, I added media files for my exhibition objects. So that meant images, videos, audio files. And for each image that you can add captions and alt text, credits, and rights information. And the captions and the alt text are going to be available when these object files are selected for the exhibition. So with the blueprint set up and all of the objects and data and media in place, it was time to create the exhibition. So from the exhibition menu, or from the menu here, I selected exhibitions, and then I clicked the plus icon to create an exhibition. And then I went through a short setup flow, and then here I am reviewing the information. So I gave my exhibition a title. I selected an exhibition type, EXH1, which is minimal, clear, and focused. And the exhibition type gives you a starting point for the look and feel of the project. Then I selected my blueprint. Of course, I used the Dragonfly blueprint. And then I added my four thematic sections here. I also added two additional pages, which we'll look at in more detail in just a minute. And then once I was happy with everything, I clicked Create. So now it's time to start shaping the exhibition. So what I did, I'm working in the builder here. I started in the structure tab, and that's where you're going to see all of the pages that you've added. I did at this point go ahead and decide to add two more pages. So I clicked here. I added a discover page and I added the introductory essay page. I also decided that I was going to change the object list to checklist. So that's what I did here. Um, to control what appears in the menu, you can see we have three items here. You can actually click this page icon, and then I'll also mention you can drag and drop these into the position that you prefer. And then lastly, I decided to make my exhibition sections subpages nested under this discover page, and then that also creates a drop down here in the menu. Now under settings, so this is the settings tab here, I adjusted the global settings for the exhibition and updated display, typography, and color options. I selected a light blue for the background and I went with a dark green for the primary color. These settings do apply across every page of the exhibition, but you can also override them on a page by page basis. So for the header, I clicked into the exhibition header, and that opened up the Universal Editor. So we will talk about the Universal Editor in more detail in just a second. So using that, I centered my title and menu. I updated the text sizes. I applied that primary green color to my title. And then I decided to add a gradient overlay. So I've toggled that on here. So all of the exhibition components that we're going to adjust for the project are called blocks, and they are all styled using the Universal Editor. The edit options change depending on the type of block that you're working with. So here I'm working with the header block, but there's also a text block, a footer block, an image block. So you'll see several different types of blocks as we go through the project. So next, after setting up the heading, I moved to our object manager here. And so this is where I organized all of the Dragonfly exhibition objects. You'll see the exhibition sections automatically appear here at right, and then it's just a matter of dragging and dropping your images into their respective sections in the order that you want it to appear. So once I sorted and saved everything, these objects are going to automatically populate their exhibition section pages. And then I'll mention that you can also use the grid view that's going to show you all of the exhibition images, and you can arrange those images in the order that you want for your exhibition checklist. So next, I set up the object layout. So that's where we are here. This is the template that every individual object page is going to follow. So I hovered over object layout here in the menu at left, and that's going to pull up an additional menu where I have the option to edit the object layout. And so you can see here that I've decided to change the color to the sort of experimenty green. Then I organized and I added the fields that I wanted to display. So for my objects here, I wanted to show the artist, additional artist, date, period, medium, credit line, and then also the label text. And you can drag and drop these into position. You can add spacing. You can make it look just how you like. And then you can also add fields for individual images, audio, video, whatever you need. Along the way, you can preview with your exhibition objects to see what it's looking like as you're working. So next, I started building out and refining the pages. So I started on the home page. I'll just mention that the EXH1 type that I selected comes with a placeholder image above the fold. So I decided to delete this image block. So using this action menu here, I decided to delete the block. And I also deleted the placeholder header block and text block below it. So why did I do that? Well, because for this exhibition, I wanted a single compelling image as the focus. So on the home page here, for the background, I selected one of our object images to use as a background image. And so I went with this detail of a jeweled dragonfly, one of the exhibition objects for the page. And it's a really, really nice, strong, compelling image. Now, moving along to the Discover page, I pasted in the introductory text here, and then I added a container block below the text. So a container block lets you add other blocks inside it. So inside this container, I added 4 card blocks, and I selected background images, and then I added my section titles, and then I also added for each of the cards a link to the respective section page. So if you click on studies, it's going to take you to the studies page. I also added entrance animations using the star tab here in the Universal Editor. So for the checklist page, I selected a new background color. So I went with an oatmeal here, which looks really nice with the green gradients. And for the objects block, which is the block that you're seeing here, I opted to show 3 works per row. And then I also, using this tab here, selected some of the fields that I wanted to display below each of the objects. Now, throughout the entire build, I worked in preview mode. So I was checking the exhibition as it came together, making adjustments along the way. So here we are on the introductory essay page. So I definitely reviewed all the text. I checked my notes. I checked my captions. I tested the animations for the figures. I checked spacing. And then after a final review of all of the exhibition, I decided it was ready to publish. So once I published it, I then domain mapped it to display at a subdomain at our demonstration site, the Museum of Objects. So you can see that the URL is dragonfly.museumofobjects.com. Now, once you publish an exhibition, you can still make updates and edits whenever you need to. So you can tweak the text, you can change the color, you can add a curatorial video, and then it's very easy to republish. So here at lower left, you can actually see that I have some unpublished changes. And then when I'm ready to incorporate those, I would just click Publish Updates, and the exhibition would rebuild and replace the previous version. You can also unpublish an exhibition if you need to take it down for any reason. So the Dragonfly exhibition is live. It's accessible to anyone on any device, and that's really what a digital exhibition makes possible. When you are ready to start building your own exhibition, sign up and get started. You can add up to 100 objects and create up to 3 exhibitions for free. And then when you're ready to publish and share your project, you can explore our subscription plans. So thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you check out the Dragonfly exhibition. We would love to hear what you think. See you next time. Bye.